All right, here we go. Trail 533, the Huckleberry Trail. Hey guys, Smelling Roses here. Today we're in Pendleton County, West Virginia at the Seneca Creek Backcountry area. We just visited Spruce Knob, the highest point in West Virginia, a little over 4,800 feet. And I'm going to do just a quick overnight backpacking trip here. I'm planning to do just a little over 16 miles in 2 days here in the area, so come along, let's go check it out. We will follow this trail along the ridge for roughly about 4 miles, and then we will start to descend down the west slope of Spruce Mountain, and there the environment will start to change. We'll pass through some meadows and hardwood forest and head down towards Seneca Creek. A lot of people nowadays try to hike and backpack with just tennis shoes or trail running shoes, and you know, to each his own. Hike your own hike, but in my opinion that's how people get hurt. If you're going to complain about the rocky trails, at least wear some sturdy footwear and get yourself some real boots. The mountain doesn't care. The mountain doesn't care. You can see it's been pretty muddy out here. This is very typical of many spots along the trail. I'm not sure if it's like this all the time, but there has been a lot of rain the last couple of days. I'm sure that has exaggerated the wet spots, but hopefully that will also mean that Seneca Creek is flowing pretty good, and hopefully we'll get a good view of Seneca Falls. This hike started near the state high point at Spruce Knob, so as you can imagine, the hike has been mostly downhill ever since. And as we get lower on the western slope of the mountain, you can see the forest has changed significantly. Well, we've got a nice little stream to cross. First signs of any water on the hike today. Alright guys, looks like we made it down to Seneca Creek. There's a nice footbridge here to cross to the other side. Beautiful stream. Alright guys, the hike was mostly downhill. The falls represented the lowest elevation we would reach on this hike, and unfortunately that means it's all uphill from here. So we're going to take the Horton Trail and start heading back up Spruce Mountain. In addition to the strenuous uphill climb ahead, there may not be any more water sources on the hike. So I filtered water there at the falls and filled up my water bladder. And I'm also carrying a couple of Sawyer bags and two 20-ounce bottles of as yet unfiltered water that I can filter later. So I should have plenty of water. The bad news is water is heavy and we got to lug it up this mountain. You can see that the Horton Trail continues to climb up in that direction towards where we were earlier in the day. But we're at an intersection here and we are actually going to take Trail 564, the High Meadows Trail. Get some more great views from the High Meadows. You can actually still hear the roar of the falls not far below us. But we'll be leaving those behind as we continue to climb back up Spruce Mountain. I'm not positive guys, but I believe off in the distance there is Mount Port Crayon. I believe that may be it in the distance there. Getting to the summit of Mount Port Crayon requires some off-trail navigation and some pretty hardcore bushwhacking through a spruce forest. And myself and a friend of mine have set that as a goal for 2018, so stay tuned guys. Hopefully we'll make it up there next year. Still climbing guys. Alright guys, still climbing the mountain on the High Meadows Trail. We're almost to the end of this trail. We're going to intersect with the Lumberjack Trail. Guys, this is the remains of a small aircraft that crashed here in the 1970s. Sadly, 2 people on board the plane lost their lives. Well guys, I hiked up to the end of the High Meadows Trail and connected with the Lumberjack Trail, and I took that trail for about 2 miles back to this point here. I didn't shoot any video on the Lumberjack Trail except for the plane crash site. There wasn't really much to show you guys on that trail. Anyway, here I'm back at the intersection of the Horton Trail, Huckleberry Trail, and the Lumberjack Trail. And I've stopped at this campsite to cook some dinner. I haven't decided yet if I'm just gonna go ahead and pitch camp here or if I will continue on up the mountain to some better campsites I saw further up the ridge. But I've got to take a look at the map and estimate how far that is. It's getting late in the evening. It's about 6 p.m. now, so only a couple more hours of daylight and pretty tired. So I've got to decide after I eat whether I will just camp here for the night or try to make it a little bit further up the mountain. Alright guys, well this is not a terrible campsite, but we still have at least another hour and a half maybe before sunset. So after eating some dinner, I got a little bit of energy, and I think I'm going to go ahead and push on up the mountain, at least get up this next steep climb. So from this trail intersection, it's about 5 miles back to the trailhead. Maybe we can head on up the mountain another mile, mile and a half, find us a good campsite, and maybe sleep in a little bit in the morning, and it'll be an easy short hike out tomorrow. I'll also point out that we are back on the Huckleberry Trail, the trail we took in the morning. So all of this is backtracking the same route we used to come in the morning. All right, we're back up in the spruce. Smell is wonderful up here. It's going to be much better to find a campsite up here under the spruce trees. All right guys, home sweet home for the night. Made it up to the ridge line and just went ahead and selected this site here. I did see some other sites that were even better than this one, but this is not bad at all. Nice soft pine needle surface here, some cool rocks over there. And I wasn't going to put the rain fly on the tent because there's like 0 chance of rain tonight, but I went ahead and put it on because we're literally right along the trail. So although I'm not expecting anyone to come through tonight or early in the morning, you just never know, and the trail is just like right there behind the site. So I went ahead and put the rain fly on the tent just in case for privacy. And I've got to go ahead and secure my food and toiletry items, all my scented items, keep them away from any critters. So I'll be hanging that stuff back over in here somewhere. And I still got to get the inside of the tent set up, get my sleep system ready, and get things kind of secured for the night. Not sure I will do any more footage this evening. Just going to finish getting camp set up here, and I'm going to relax for a little while. Pretty long, grueling day, but saw some awesome stuff. Appreciate you guys coming along for day 1. So it's going to be lights out here very soon, and I'll see you guys in the morning for day 2. I guess it's a good thing I put the rain fly on. You can't beat the mountain. Good morning guys, Smelling Roses here, day 2. Just lounging around here lazy in my tent this morning. You can see I got up earlier, went outside, and when I came back in I just left the vestibule open on the rain fly. Can see some sunlight coming through the trees back there. Beautiful scene this morning. When I got up earlier, there was a deer right outside my tent, about 10 feet away, a doe. Kind of ran off when she saw me, but she wasn't really that scared. She didn't snort or anything. We had a really strong storm come through around 9 or 10 p.m. Lots of thunder, but fortunately not a lot of lightning, but very heavy rain, very strong winds. And I finally went to sleep after the storm died down. Slept great all night. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful morning though. I'm going to go ahead and get up soon and get stirring, make some coffee and some breakfast, start breaking down camp. I don't have a long hike to get out of here. About 4 miles to the trailhead, and of course the trailhead is at the West Virginia high point, so it's all uphill from here, but most of the elevation gain we did yesterday, probably just a couple of 100 feet between here and the trailhead, spread out over those 4 miles, so elevation gain won't be bad. Alright guys, I got camp all broke down and everything packed up, ready to go, get back on the trail. Take one last look around, always leave no trace. make sure we didn't forget any of our gear or trash. You can see where my tent was last night, the only dry spot around. Beautiful sun rays coming through the spruce this morning. As I mentioned before, we're just going to be backtracking the Huckleberry Trail back up to the summit of Spruce Knob. Probably won't shoot a lot of footage on the way out since we've already been through that trail, but it's still a 4-mile hike, so I'm sure we'll see something interesting. Alright guys, we're back on the trail. Tell you what, this pack is a lot lighter since I've consumed most of the water that I had to haul up from the creek yesterday evening. A lot of my food and snacks are also gone, so pack feels a lot lighter, and it's going to be a good hike out to the trailhead. Alright guys, not much further now, back to the trailhead. Wrapping up this 2-day adventure in the Seneca Creek Backcountry area here on Spruce Mountain, the Monongahela National Forest, West Virginia. Hope you guys enjoyed the videos. Thanks so much for coming along. As always, I appreciate all your views and support, and please leave me a comment down below. Thanks a lot guys, and I'll see you on the trail.